Hi there, this is Camille Superson, co-author of the ebook Insider's Guide to Caregiver Resources. As many of you know, I was a caregiver for almost 10 years, and with that experience gave me a lot of tips and shortcuts and solutions to problems that I would like to share with you. This video is the second of 3 videos on wound care, and the name of this video is called Stages of Pressure Ulcers and Bed Sores, or also known as bed sores. Now, what I want you to really think about is what are the stages from perfectly intact skin all the way through a serious condition. So the first stage is normal, healthy skin. And that is skin that is still intact, still fleshy colored, normal skin texture and normal skin color. Now, another stage that you have to look at is what we described in the first video, and that is when you have pressure on certain areas and those areas are red or pink, but the skin is still intact and the skin is still dry. There is no breaking of skin or anything of that nature. Anything that shows pressure, especially on a repeated basis, will have the potential in a very quick way to break down and become a bed sore. Now, the next stage that you need to pay attention to is when the skin actually breaks down. And that means that the skin is no longer intact. That reddened area, that pressurized area, now has a broken integrity to it. And what happens is once the skin breaks, it oozes, or it becomes very wet, you know, where you have an open sore. And it's still on a very preliminary level in the sense that it is still very easy to take care of, and the reversal of it or the healing of it can be very rapid if you know what to do. Now, the next 2 stages that I'm going to describe, I'm only going to go into detail basically with those first 2, because the next stages I'd like to just tell you about them so you're aware of them. And that is when the skin actually starts to deteriorate in terms of that open sore, that oozing sore becomes larger, becomes deeper, possibly even becomes infected, becomes warm to the touch, and has a potential to become a systemic infection. Now, that stage and the next stage that I'm going to be telling you about really needs expert advice and care. And I would suggest that you talk to your physician or your loved one's physician and or the visiting nurse that might come to your home, and they will give you further instructions, because you may need medicine, you might need an antibiotic, you might need certain dressings, etc. The final stage of a wound, the stages of wound development, is when the actual tissue becomes necrosed. And necrosis is when that skin becomes blackened and very hard. And you see it a lot in people that have diabetes, for example. And so that tissue is dead tissue. And yes, there is live tissue underneath. But what happens is that wound is already so deep and has gone through so many different levels in terms of the depth of all the levels of the skin, that it definitely needs professional advice and to be able to take care of. Because a lot of the times when you do have necrosis like that, it even sometimes requires surgery. And then again, you have to really be careful all the time as well, because you can also develop a systemic infection.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Trent, and I'm one of the co-authors of The Insider's Guide to Caregiver Resources. We hope you found this video helpful and informative. To receive a series of free videos on various caregiving topics, please visit us at www.bestcaregiverresource.com/info.php. See you there.